Hello, dear friends. Here we are, Drops of Light, day 20th. Believe it or not, here we are in this beautiful journey, rejoicing with Spiritist poetry. Today, we're going to be with you for another chapter. Today's chapter 25, named Petals, from the book Drops of Light in English, in Portuguese, Gotas de Luz. Welcome, friends. It's a joy to be here every night. It's been a series of almost a year. This October, November, we're gonna turn a year that we're live most of the year every day, exception to a few breaks. And the reason being that we are in a critical time on the earth in which we need currents of constructive mental thoughts. Shall we? We need to make a choice. Sometimes people ask one another or ourselves or other friends, I would love to do this. How do you do it? It all begins with a choice. Nobody forces us to do it. We're invited. There's an inner call. There is a call to this the inner being of all of us. And you're welcome to do the same. It's a choice. It's a choice that we can make. Yes. Remember that song? It's a choice we're making. Yes. We're saving our own lives. Yes. We are the world. Actually, we are our choices. We are the choices that we make every day. Yes, we are the choices we make every day. Thought is life, Emmanuel says. We need to feel the scriptures so we can once and for all make those decisions. We often leave this conflict and this mismatch. I dream of God, I dream of Jesus, I dream of these teachings. But at the end of the day, I make a choice. And often we make choices based on old conditionings. So what do we need to do? Make a choice to design ourselves as we want to be. Like an architect, we have an idea, we put it in drawing. From drawing, the engineer tells us the structure of it all, the dynamics, the physiology of it all. And then once we have it all, we can start manifesting. The same for our daily actions, from eating to sleeping to working, feeding ourselves every day. Any and every choice begins always in our feelings, then thoughts, words, actions. And that's why today we're going to dedicate to chapter 25, Petals. Petals, pétalas, in Portuguese. And I would love to share with you the original stanzas of this poem in Portuguese, soon after in English. Shall we? I'm gonna say hi to all of you, hoping that you're doing well and that we are now forming a constructive mental current. Many people ask, why 11 p.m.? Why live? Because we could easily do it pre-recorded, but Mentor Joseph and the other good spirits that mentor the works at Cardiac Radio and the Spiritist magazine and also the Spirit Side of Virginia, they say that at the current time on the earth, we need an awakened teamwork effort to sustain vibrations that are higher and volunteer to work more closely with the higher spirits. Not only us, many people around the world, but this is our part, and you're welcome in, no matter where you are in the world. Right, friends? So let us all here say hi to one another, feel welcomed. Lea Severo, how are you? Rihanna, how are you? Andrea Torres, Teresa Catapano, right? Sunshine, Roni Lamar, how are you? Olivia there? Yes, yes. Hipólito, how are you? And thank you, Hipólito, for your kindness. Paula Andrade, how are you? Leonor Pacheco, it's good to see you here. And Lisa Teles, Teresa Castro, Teresa is saying, thought, action, feelings. Beautiful. Karina, beautiful Karina. Since Karina is here, I want to remind everyone, the campaign, now the book drive through Kardec Radio, is going to send Portuguese books to a centenary Spiritist center in Brazil. In the countryside of the state of São Paulo, Centro Espírita Luz e Caridade, turning 100 years this year. And this center is special, like every center is special. But this one particularly is the one that was founded by family members of ours. Yes, my great-great-grandfather and his sons, together with families, other families, they put together this beautiful center. It's turning 100 years. And they've done beautiful works. And some of you have already helped. Karina is also part of is like a post in Brazil that is collecting many books. Today we've got to know that Geraldo Lemos Neto, through his publisher, is sending a bunch of books to the center. And we have many other places as well. So you're welcome to join us. That center is really special, and we welcome all of your help, okay? Ana Augusta, beautiful friend. Let me say, Ana Augusta is here. Luis Hu, the beautiful friend who is revolutionizing Spiritism for kids. And we're opening flash courses on Spiritism based on his book starting 2018. And if you're online, you can join us. There are specific dates. You can click on the link, go to our page, make a registration, and we'll tell you how to connect with us online if you cannot be in person, okay? The third thing, Fraternity Without Borders. Lea Severo is here too for Kardec Radio, but also helping us. Angelita is in Madagascar. Wagner Moura, the founder, is there. They are doing beautiful works, and this is the t-shirt in English, Fraternity Without Borders. Do you want a t-shirt like this in the color that you want? Contact Lea Severo today, okay? She knows how you can acquire yours, and at the same time help all the families in Madagascar, Mozambique, and other locations to have a dignified life. Today I saw the pictures, and I tell you, it's hard to hold the tears, because Wagner Moura and others found out a community of people there in Madagascar who only take a shower when it rains. They only drink water that is given to them. They don't have hygienic, they don't have soap, they don't have toothpaste. It shows the picture of the feet of the children, not only dirty, but I would say unhealthy in many ways. Friends, this is a cause that is helping humanity. Make someone happy. Donate to Fraternity Without Borders. You can sponsor a child. They will send you the picture. And these are not fake systems. These are actual friends whom we know are reliable and are doing works that are unprecedented. Okay? Are you ready, Dani Braviera and Erika? Are you ready for Drops of Light? Let's start sipping this beautiful shower of light. Jesus is so good. He has a large group of friends, including Casimiro Cunha, the spirit author of this book, who brought to us through the beautiful and illuminated hands of Chico Xavier these drops of eternal light. Right, Rudy? Ready? Let me read it to you in Portuguese, shall I? Pé Petals. Pétalas. Chapter 25. Para anular tentações, com ânimo sempre ativo, o trabalho infatigável é o melhor preservativo. Embora a luta te esmague, cumpre sempre o teu dever. O verdadeiro valor consiste em saber sofrer. Não menoscabes servir, nem repouses na estrada. O tédio é sempre o infortúnio de gente desocupada. Vence em ti, contigo mesmo, na escola do sacrifício. Muita vez o herói da praça é servo do próprio vício. Procura no amor fraterno teu caminho abençoado. Quem dorme acusando os outros, acorda menosprezado. A palavra generosa, doce, calma e compassiva, cai no deserto das almas, como gota de água viva. Se desejas entender a glória do bem real, começa agora e aqui mesmo, fugindo de todo o mal. Que o pranto das grandes mágoas não te faça esmorecer. Olhos que nunca choraram, raramente sabem ver. Se estiveres fatigado, de corpo fraco e enfermiço, medita sobre o descanso, mas não deixes teu serviço. Não critiques, nem acuses as faltas de teu irmão. Mais tarde atravessará teus dias de provação. Quite interesting, we would say, apparently simple, but this poem are petals of a flower, of deep, 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 deep healing. It begins in English by telling us petals. To annul temptations with renewed heart. Unstoppable work is always the best preservative. In spite of the struggle that smashes you, fulfill your duty. There is great value in knowing to suffer. Do not despise service, and neither stop in your pathway. Boredom is always the unfortunate friend of those who are useless. Win your own self in the school of sacrifice. Often the hero of the square is the servant of his own vice. Seek in fraternal love your blessed pathway. Whomever sleeps accusing others wakes up less appreciated. The generous word, sweet, calm, and compassionate, falls in the desert of the souls like a drop of living water. If you wish to extend the glory of real goodness, begin here and now, escaping every single evil. May the tears of great grudges never make you weak. Eyes that never cry rarely can see anything. If you are tired and your body is weak and sick, meditate about rest, but never stop serving. Do not criticize. Do not accuse the faults of your brother. Later, you will cross your days of trials. Yay, yay, yay. Petals. Smell the perfume of this flower. This poem is like a beautiful flower, petals of a flower. Remember, in the preface of the book, Assembleia de Deus, another book of poetry, through Xavier, several spirits bring to us the awareness that poetry is much more than simple and beautiful rhymes. Spiritist poetry is a calibrating tool for us. In those verses, we will find vibrations that will calibrate our vibrational system. We are vibrating beings, my friends. Right, Erica, my friend? Erica is here. She is part of our family living in the United States. And her and I are working on this beautiful campaign for the center that is centenary in Brazil. And we have more than 13 posts of collection in Brazil and the world. And you're welcome to join us. If you have one book, send one of those posts. You can send to Kardec Radio as well. Like Sunshine, she bought the book, sent it to us, though she doesn't read Portuguese necessarily. Lea Severo brought the books in Brazil and asked them to deliver to the city of Itobi, to the center. And several other friends, Valéria Benfica, many others have been doing this. So you can be part of it. Today, Geraldo Lemos Neto, who has a publisher, he just told us that they've just shipped their contribution from their publisher to that center. Why do they need it? Because it's not easy to acquire Spiritist books in Brazil, especially in the economic crisis. It's not easy, and that city doesn't have a Spiritist bookstore either, neither the centers in the area. So if you're helping that center, as far as we understand, it's going to become a reference, a Spiritist library as a reference for the whole region, all the cities around. There you go. Thank you, Erica, for your beautiful help. Lisa Teles, thank you for supporting Fraternity Without Borders. Leia is certainly going to help you. Shall we go to the petals? First petal, what color do you want? Think of a color. As the book Assembleia de Deus says, Emmanuel prefaces it telling about when these poets got together in the spiritual realm to put together the book on poetry, they were reciting their poems, and colors, different tones of colors were emanated. So when we're saying this, there are colors, vibrations, frequency. So petal number 1, it talks about annulling temptations. Yes, we go through temptations. People think temptations are just sex. No. Temptation is anything that is related to the opposite of the good. Tempted to do the not so good. That's the meaning here. I'm tempted to do what? Something that is not according to the laws of God. And it could be bad-mouthing somebody. It could be not be willing to support the good works of others. It would be to despise people that I don't agree, like intolerance, as we're seeing recently in Charlottesville, Virginia. This is not a political statement. It's a social statement. We say yes to love and no to hatred. We do not embrace separation or division. We embrace unity. But we pray for the white supremacists. We pray for those who are taking these extremist views of life. No violence should be ever condoned. We come here telling them, you're also children of love. God loves you, and you should know it, as Joana de Angelis says in the book Happy Life. And that's what we admit. We say, no, I don't agree, but you are children of God. Remember, you're children of God. Remember, today we're born white. Tomorrow we may not be born white. Big deal. What's the difference? No difference. I'm born in the United States today, and tomorrow in India, and then in Brazil, in Argentina, and beautiful countries around the world. South Africa, Australia, and then Colombia, and Canada, and England. So, what's the big deal? The big deal is that we're being called by God to serve Him in those lands. Therapeutic question number 1. Do you love the lands where you're living in now? No matter what it is in the world. I'm not asking the lands where you were born. But do you love, appreciate, and respect the lands where you're living in? Do you? Should we? Oh yeah. Because every land is blessed by God. There's no distinction before God's eyes. And if we should love God above all things, we need to love God above our nationality, because it's a passing thing. And feel and behave as universal citizens, not even terrestrial, universal. Today we're on the earth, tomorrow only God knows. Thank God. So let us say this affirmation. I love the country where I live in. For me right now, I have a particular, emphasis in the United States. We love the world and love the universe. But we need to feel that drive to care for these lands that welcome us, and the people who live there, and those who came before us and prepared the lands. Your tree and your root shall be blessed. Bless your ancestors. Bless those who came before you to the lands you're living in. That's the only way for you to succeed and for me to succeed. No tree can be fruitful without blessing its roots. And the roots right now for you and I are where we're living in. So bless those roots, the founding fathers and mothers of your country. Bless them. Do your homework. Get to know of them. Do not be tempted to put it aside. Embrace it. Right, Andrea Torres, we love Chicago. Bless Chicago. Yes, and bless the world. Lívia Moraes, how are you? Beautiful Adilson, how are you? So, unstoppable work is the best way to preserve our mental health and to prevent us from falling in temptations. Aha! Addictions? Oh, Vanessa, I don't know how I get out of addiction. Occupational therapy, meaning work. Be useful. Ask God, God, how can I be useful? Go for it, and your addiction is going to dissolve in your incessant work. And though the struggle may smash you, fulfill your duty. You see, there's a central theme in this paddle. Second paddle, what color? For me, it's pink. What is the color of this paddle for you? In this stanza here, he's telling again and again about our duty. There's true value in learning how to suffer. But don't stop your duty. Yes, today somebody told me during the day, elsewhere, in another country, oh, somebody expected 6 months ago that I was going to transcribe these tapes, and I couldn't because my life was a struggle. Many problems happened along the way. I don't even know what to say to the people in the center. We actually need to tell ourselves first to make peace here. Well, forgive ourselves. But say, where can I adjust it? Adjust it. Is my daily life more important than my committed my commitment to the general good? If I stop helping people because I have to fix my life, I'll never be able to be useful to the general good. Because we will always have to work on many things in our lives. So here is our friend Casimiro Cunha reminding us, fulfill your duty and learn how to suffer in the sense of like, give a new meaning to your suffer. You know, maybe it's not suffering, it's a perception issue. It is. Because there are people who have less problems than others and they feel more troubled than the other ones who actually have more obstacles. It's a matter of perception. That's what it means to know how to suffer. In the Gospel According to Spiritism, Kardec, on chapter 5, which is the longest chapter of the whole book, it talks about learning how to suffer, suffering well. Suffering well is not to say, oh yeah, keep smashing, keep putting me down, life. No, no, no. It's to say, I need to find the catch of this learning experience. What does God want me to learn? Patience. You won the lottery. From the suffering of all sufferings to be tested on patience, you won the lottery. You know why? Because when you acquire patience, everything else is game. Oh yeah, it's easy. Why? Because you know sooner or later you're going to achieve your goal, the goal of God. Right? So we say, it's okay. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. I can see no obstacles on my way. Exactly. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. Yeah, no obstacles on my way. Because I gave new meaning. I put new lenses. And then everything has a new meaning. That's to know how to suffer. Say, no, 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 this is not suffering. You know when you go on a diet and you're hungry? Oh, I'm suffering so much. And then you realize, man, I'm glad I can do this voluntarily. Because there are people on this earth that have nothing. They have to be in a restricted diet because there is no food. God, may I learn this way voluntarily. How about that? Is that a deal? Yes, Maria da Costa, beautiful friends. Big hug to the Somerville group. Miss you guys. So, do not despise service. You see, it's the third and the whole theme of this petals, third petal, telling us, do not despise service and do not either stop in your way. Boredom is always the unfortunate companion of people who become useless. Idle people, idle people. I don't want it. In the book Heaven and Hell, Allan Kardec has a case of the bored woman. Mamma mia. She was so bored when she was incarnated that when she discarnated, she kept herself being bored to the point that when Kardec started talking to her through the medium, she's like, I'm so bored I cannot even answer, I'm tired. She's tired and bored. So we need to do our occupational therapy. Be useful. Today I have friends, Ney Sampaio from our center, who is helping us at Kardec Radio, and his beautiful wife, Michelle, and they were saying, you know, how much we need these affirmations with pictures daily to give us fuel. That's a work you can do on Instagram. Go to your Instagram. And you know, we're accepting volunteers for the social media at Kardec Radio, so if you want to If you want to volunteer that end, send us a message, kardecradio@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to have you on board. Okay? Finally here, the fourth petal. Win over your own self in the school of sacrifice. Often the hero is the servant of his own vice. Meaning, mind over matter, shall we make an effort? Effort, repetition, effort, repetition. You know where it begins? Affirmations. So the first affirmation we're gonna do is gonna be, which affirmation? You wanna know? Yes, because that's how we begin. Seeking the good, feeling the good, visualizing the good. You are your own architect, as Mentor Joseph says. Quoting from Andre Lewis in the book Evolutioning Towards and Mechanisms of Mediumship. We begin in our thoughts, but we need to program our minds. So put your hand on your chest to feel the vibrations of your own words resetting, creating a new pattern for your own health. Not only the physical, but the immortal health. Shall we? Tell yourself, I can win over my addictions. I can win over my addictions. Third time, I can win over my addictions. How are you feeling? Often during your day, pick 3 affirmations, even if it's in your mind. Tell yourself, I am light. I am peace. I am joy of living. If you're entering right now, maybe you haven't heard about it, but I'm going to share with you. Mentor Joseph told me for Virginia, our daughter, she's almost 4, that when we are driving with her, we should call our attention to the good. Well, of course, we're just so human. Sometimes we don't do it, but often we do, here and there and everywhere before she goes to sleep. Affirmations, but not only for us, to the world. So we have a Portuguese short song that we translated into English. I'll give you just the verse in Portuguese and then into English, okay? We start singing to the drivers of the other cars. So we say, você é luz, você é paz, você é alegria de viver. And we sing, and you are love, and you're light, yeah, you are light, and you're peace, and you are joy of living. And when we look at the drivers that we're passing by, emitting to them these vibrations of kindness, wishing them that wherever they go to, when they reach their destination, may they be of peace. How many incidents in the world we've seen with drivers going wild, driving over people. Mamma mia, why do they do this? Let's pray for people when they are behind the wheels. Okay, friends? Thank you, Livia. She's saying, we should be grateful for the land we live in, love its people, respect their rules without trying touchable. Yes, their own culture. Exactly. Rosalind Rosa, big kiss to you and the whole family. And Livia, send us a message at kardecradio@gmail.com so we can be in touch with you, talk over the phone, and tell you how you can volunteer, okay? There are many things going on. The process requires many hands. Thank you. Now, as we march towards the second part of this poem, it says, seek in fraternal love your blessed pathway. And I tell you, fraternity without borders, this is fraternal love. Your blessed pathway. But it's with you first. It's with people in your life. Visualize. We did an exercise tonight at the Spirit Side of Virginia on patience. Portray yourself achieving Visualize yourself patient and kind and loving. If you design it in your mind, you will engineer with God. Okay? You architect yourself in your mind, and then you engineer yourself with God to manifest the divine in you. That's how it works. There's no other way. How are you designing yourself? If you have that self-critical voice saying, I'm bad, and I do this bad, and I'm terrible, well, you're not going to move forward. You need to stop that voice and say, I forgive myself. I am patient. I am tolerant. I am loving. I am kind. And every day design yourself. That's exactly what it is. And design yourself in this love with others. The generous word, sweet, calm, and compassionate, fall in the desert of the souls like a drop of living water. Your words have a lot of power because it's God's vivid power in you. Use the words wisely. Be generous. Don't refrain that sincere encouragement to people. It's not flattery. It's encouragement. Keep up the good work, my friend. Go on with your family care, with your diligent work. Yes, we need to encourage people to go on and on and on. Finally, he says to us, if you want to extend the glory of the true goodness, start now and avoid the opposite, the wrongdoings. And finally, he says, do never stop. Do never abandon your position, which is awaited by God. Fulfill it. Fulfill your destiny. Exactly. Immortality. I keep my memories of you and me. We need to invest in the good. That's the only way to free us from the old conditionings. In a beautiful chapter 10 in the book Thought and Life, Emmanuel reveals to us the only way to begin anew, to reset, to start a new day is and will only be through seeking the good, feeling the good, visualizing the good and molding the good with all the resources you have. And it begins every day, all the time. Positive thinking. Neuroscience already proves to us that positive thinking has a physiological effect on your health. In your gene expression, you activate or deactivate special genes according to your thoughts. And me too. So how about tonight? Take these beautiful petals from this beautiful poem, which tonight is a flower. From Casimiro Cunha to us, bring it close to your heart and tell yourself, I am a child of God. I am a child of God. I reincarnated to learn to do good. Reincarnation, the path of progress. Reincarnation, the way to become good. Reincarnation, the opportunity to achieve true happiness. Think the good, friends. Let's feel the good. Big hug to you, friends. Livia, Sunshine, many blessings, a big hug. And let us press on. Right, Carol Correa and Mark Smith? Thank you, friends. And until tomorrow, God willing, with more drops of eternal light.